Getting a game over is one of the most frustrating things imaginable. Not only does this mean that we've simply not been quick enough, smart enough, or even in the right place at the right time and are now being laughed at for your lack of foresight, but it also stirs within us the age-old question of why we even have them in this day and age. I mean, I get it, we didn't manage to beat this stage in time, but to have the game over rub this in our faces in a time where arcades are long gone and the concept of continuing really makes no sense, it is a strange relic that the industry seems to be carrying forward. Yet believe it or not, there's actually something worse that titles can do when it comes to game overs. That's pull a fake out. Developers know that these moments stir genuine anger and shock, and so time and time again have peppered them throughout their games in order to get a rise out of the audience. I've covered this topic before, but now thanks to you brilliant people who commented on the last video, I now have some more. So let's gather round and get salty together. As I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are 8 fake game over screens that you need to see, Commenters Edition. Number 8, Batman Arkham Asylum. Now, originally I didn't include this on the first list, and clearly this irked quite a fair few people, such as Providence, who wrote, "No Arkham Asylum? That had one of the best game over screens I've ever seen. I legitimately thought I'd broken the game." And it's easy to see why it caused so much horror in Bat fans, because the moment that the Scarecrow infects the world's greatest detective with his fear serum, the whole video game world and the game around it comes crashing down. As you're running through this retread of an earlier section of the game, suddenly the gameplay freezes in such a convincing manner that it's almost gutting to witness. However, as things restart, you see the switch positions of Batman and Joker in the Batmobile, and you know something isn't right. Things then escalate further when the player takes control of the Joker and moves up to a trapped Batman. Once he fires his gun, a game over screen is shown, and the only advice the player is given is push the middle thumbstick. A prompt that is impossible unless you're playing on an N64 controller, and why would you be doing that? What? No. Still, it's a great fake out though, right? Number 7, Futurama. Now, technically this one is cheating a little bit, because this comment actually came from our own resident editor Osley, aka Mr. Newton Chill, but he's picked an absolute corker with this one. Now, I'd never had the opportunity to play the officially licensed Futurama game, but maybe I should have, as any title that kicks out a fake game over screen in the first 5 minutes surely has got its tongue so far in cheek that it's licking its neighbour's molars. So, the lovable goof Fry is tasked with fetching a hammer and finds one at the bottom of a stack of comically heavy rubbish. After pulling out the hammer, the pile falls on him and the player is treated to a game over. Is that it, you might ask? Well, good news, everyone! Fry is alive and well, and this was actually just a scripted part of the game. Fry even speaks about his time in the Great Beyond as being all dark and then a bright light reading, "Game over." Now that's deep, yo, and thanks Oz for sharing this gem. Number 6, Borderlands, the Zombie Island of Dr. Ned. I'll tell you what, fellas, I do love me some Borderlands. In fact, by the time that this video goes out, I will have probably used the amazing gift that my friends here at WhatCulture got me for my birthday, a bona fide psycho rubber duck. Now, I might not be a duck and I might hate wet bread, but hot damn am I going to be bubbling with a dumb old smile on my face with this. Anyway, back on track. The Island of Dr. Ned was the first bit of DLC the Borderlands series got, sending the Vault Hunters to the spookiest corner of the world with zombies and ghouls and everything nasty. Throughout your travels, you're never really sure who's behind all of this. That is until Dr. Ned himself makes it very clear that he's been the one pulling the strings, and now he's got to tie up some loose ends by killing you all, which makes his actual battles somewhat confusing as he goes down quicker than your mum when I flash her a crisp £10 note and it's over before I know what's going on. And now the credits are rolling. All that build up for nothing? Oh well, I guess I better see what else is. Oh my leaky bum! What the hell is that thing? Talk about using a fake out to hit the player with the old 1-2, am I right? As Rod said in the previous video's comments, Borderlands Island of Dr. Ned with the holy credits. Indeed. Next up, spoiler warning for Control. Number 5, Control. Now, for those of you who have already experienced the confusing and utterly brilliant game that is Control, you'll know not to take things at face value. In fact, you'll learn very quickly that the phrase, "what the hell is going on?" is going to be a very common expression in your lexicon. And yet, those cheeky developers weren't content with just having the player trying to put the clues and threads together themselves and actively turn the few pieces of the narrative that do actually make coherent sense against them as the game continues. As Irish Jaguar pointed out to me on Twitter, the credits start to roll after our protagonist seems to have been taken control of by the Hiss. It seems a little like a downer ending, seeing as all we'd gone through to try and return things to normal, but hey-ho, it's a game with a message and I'll respect it to the last? What the hell is going on here? It kind of looks like my vision when the Big Bang Bazinga beans kick in. Luckily, this turns out to be a fake game over / credit sequence that is actually showing the resistance to the Hiss and actually leads to an even weirder sequence where you're collecting coffee cups and delivering mail. If this doesn't make any sense, then this is just another reason why you need to play Control. Number 4, Hitman Blood Money. If there's one video game protagonist that I can relate to, other than the Big Daddy from BioShock, it's Agent 47 from Hitman, who has executed with near-perfect precision since the year 2000. His sleek frame and unyielding chrome dome make him at once a character that stands out, but also one that is perfect at blending in as he dons all manner of disguises. However, there's one look that he'll never really quite pull off, and that is the all-white suit that he is placed in thanks to a fake-out game over screen in the level Requiem, a request put in by the Mr. X287, who was disappointed to not see it in the previous list. Well, fear not, friends, I gotcha. Here, in order to infiltrate a super-secret compound, Agent 47 is forcibly drugged and then presented to a nefarious organization as some sort of trophy kill. Little do they know that your handler has actually placed you in a pseudo-death state and reawakens the master assassin with a kiss. However, the player is none the wiser for the longest time, even seeing a fake credit scene begin to roll as they lay prone on the slab. Yet, with a simple press of a button, Agent 47 wakes up once more and can begin his incredibly stylish comeback. But watch out though, because that blood is going to be absolute murder to wash out of that suit. Oh, screw it, it's trash anyway. Number 3, Bayonetta. Is kicking ass as a tall-haired witch on your bucket list? Well, fear not, friend, as I've got the exact and very specific game for you. Sega's Bayonetta, which, as you might expect from the Spectacle Fighter Masters Platinum games, is a brilliant combination of over-the-top action and rather bizarre storytelling. The combat is as tight as Bayonetta's, hair suit, and you'll probably find yourself blazing through the game in just a few sittings because of just how addictive the overall gameplay is. And so, you might actually find it a bit disappointing that once the final boss is beaten, that things seem to end on a rather depressing note. As the husk of the giant falls towards Earth, Bayonetta takes a knee and seems to accept her fate, that while she actually defeated the beast, she will still crash into Earth and likely destroy it, thereby changing nothing. The credits begin to roll, and a tear might even form in your eye. Well, suck that salty juice back into your ducks, as there is more ass-kicking to be done. The game fakes out the downer ending in order to have the arrival of Jean and the final boss encounter be all that much more powerful. And thank God they did, because that ending, that was much more satisfying as a result. Thank you, Ted Red Dead Redemption, for that. Number 2, Kingdom Hearts 3. Light and dark, life and death, a story, and no one really knowing what the hell the game is on about. These are all qualities of the Kingdom Hearts franchise, and yet, despite its often strange approach to storytelling, is a series that has endured because of its brilliant character design and evolving combat. As you can imagine, with Kingdom Hearts 3 being the final chapter in the trilogy, the stakes are raised to an almost Everest-level height, with the very concept of existence at stake and our heroes desperately trying to battle Xehanort and his malevolent forces, which makes the choice to have a fake game over screen appear all the more tense, mainly because it occurs, just as Matsio586 tells us, during the final boss. That's right, even as you're fighting several forms of this asshole and in different areas, the game pulls a fast one on you by having a laser seemingly KO the party. As Sora hangs in the darkness, you immediately think the game is over, as after all this is the exact same pose that we see on the regular game over screen. Yet, as luck would have it, this is just a ruse, and the player can restart the hero's heart and get back into the battle once more. Still though, for a while this was pretty tense, seeing as the battles thus far have been getting increasingly more and more difficult. And number 1, Donkey Kong Country. First off, what a game. DKC might well be one of the most perfect platformers in existence and easily one of the most enjoyable experiences one can have monkeying around with a mate. However, there was a little twist to the final fight of the game that might have caused a few players to go ape. I'm speaking, of course, about the final fight with King K. Rool, which at first seems like an absolute cakewalk. After all, you just jump on his bonce a few times and the fatto falls over, leaving these beautiful bananas up for grabs once more. The credits begin to roll and you'll likely pop down the controller thinking, okay, it wasn't a great boss fight, but at least he's been turned into some nice boots. Yet that's when it happens. You suddenly realise that there's something wrong with all of these credits. For a start, there's more K's all over the shop than a passive-aggressive text exchange with my missus. Secondly, I heavily doubt that Clump came up with the concept of the game. My god, it's a fake! And so the second act of the battle begins, this time with slightly more challenge, and therefore ending with a bit more of a bang. It's a great rug pull that elicited a gorilla lol from us here at the office, much more so than that terrible monkey pun did. And there we go, those were 8 fake game over screens that you need to see, Commenters Edition. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below, because I might return once more to do another Commenters Edition further down the line. I hope that you have a bloody great day, my friends, whatever you are getting up to, because you are an absolute legend. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise, alright? As always, I've been Jules. You can go follow me at RetroJ with a 0 over on Twitter. You have been awesome. Never forget that, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.